Thank you all for being here with us today. Today's High School Heroes webinar is on the FAFSA. Hopefully y'all are able to see my screen here. Hello and welcome. I'm presenting today's webinar. It's essential updates and insights featuring important updates, resources, impact of FAFSA, and the FAFSA Completion Challenge. These webinars are being held on the first Tuesday of the month through December. The topic for December is Fast Track to Degree, Accelerating Success During High School, featuring AP and Cambridge International. I'll be reviewing questions periodically. Feel free to post your questions into the chat or Q&A. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on the KBOR website under High School Counselor Resources. So go to the Student tab and then click on High School Counselor. There are links to a plethora of resources there specific to those of you working with our high school students across the state, really just to help your students during navigating their post-high school plans. Additionally, I want to direct your attention to the Student tab again on our website and Advising Resources. These are new, provides a plethora of resources again, specific to advising, helping your students with those post-high school plans. You'll find institutional contacts on there for all of your transfer questions. Those are specific contacts available to support you across institutions. And additionally, there are academic degree maps on that page. Again, brand new resources for you all to help guide students on courses they should take for their degree program. You can click on any of the institutions there to see, pull up their degree program and plan for courses, and really just check those off as a student continues through their high school planning. This is our agenda for today. We'll cover all of these topics to a certain extent. We'll keep it relatively short today if possible, depending on your questions, just to allow time for you to navigate those FAFSA resources as well. So as y'all know, we're coming off of a challenging FAFSA cycle in Kansas. Our state ranked 39th among other states on FAFSA completion of our high school graduating class. So we're down 10% on completions from previous year. Comparing that to nationally, 53.2% of the class of 2024 completed a FAFSA. So the dichotomy of the to the right shows the disparity among groups. And just to kind of give you an idea of what that is actually showing you, the higher income schools, that's defined as schools enrolling less than 50%, students being eligible for free and reduced lunch programs. So this is the estimated percentage of students completing a FAFSA from those schools. And this is the year-to-year change. So you can see compared to last year, there was a negative 8.5% change or decrease, if you will. So in comparing that to our lower income schools, which again would be then more than 50% of their students are eligible for free and reduced lunches, you can see the larger decrease in those schools. And then comparing schools that enroll high minority versus low minority, and that's defined as high minority or high schools enrolling 40% or more Black or Hispanic students. So you can see the difference there in the high minority schools versus the low minority enrollment schools, and really where that disparity therein lies. So I've received many questions about what we can expect this year. We are holding weekly meetings with the U.S. Department of Ed. Higher ed leadership attends those. to stay updated and provide feedback on any issues or needed fixes. I'm pleased to report that the beta testing for the FAFSA form has gone exceptionally well, as reported not only by those schools participating in the beta testing, but also the U.S. Department of Ed representatives. Again, we're all in a meeting together and they're able to share their insights during those meetings. And again, it's went exceptionally well based on their feedback. So I'm optimistic about a smoother FAFSA cycle this year as minor issues arise as typical with this process, but they should be rare and manageable. So here's kind of the progress update. They're just ensuring the form functions as intended on the date that it's launched, which is December 1st. They have increased transparency with those consistent meetings, not only with higher ed institutions, but also state leadership. And there has been a plethora of resources released, which I will show you today. They're also providing additional resources, as again, you'll see those today as well. And they're ensuring the call center has sufficient capacity to handle outreach during the FAFSA cycle. They've improved the user experience. Some of those improvements would be additional definitions or being able to provide more context for a question within the FSA ID or the FAFSA application. Also providing additional outreach and support for students and families, which you'll see within the resources that I'll share with you all today. First, I wanted to cover some FAFSA terminology. The FAFSA is a free application for federal student aid. Uh, Student Aid Index, this is a term that was changed in previous years. It used to be the EFC. This is calculated based on information provided on that application. It's used to determine if a student is eligible for Pell Grant or other grants that require financial need. And financial need is then cost of attendance, which you'll see defined a couple down there, and then the minus the student aid index equals financial need. So there's a formula that determines if a student then qualifies for those federal grants. And then in addition, there are additional state grants or scholarships that students can also qualify for based on some items within the financial aid application. The cost of attendance is an estimated budget of how much it costs a student to attend a college, and then that includes the tuition, fees, housing, books, supplies, and so forth. So a dependent student, which we'll talk about in addition on the next slide, this is going to determine if a student's parent needs to provide their information on that financial aid application. Has nothing to do with being a dependent on a parent's tax return. If a parent is unwilling to provide their information on the FAFSA application, they only qualify for unsubsidized loans, which means they will not be able to see if they can qualify for those grants, federal grants. An independent student does not include their parent info on the FAFSA. So for most of y'all, we are talking the dependent students as they're in high school. So here's the dependency status questions. They have to be 24 years and up to be considered independent. A graduate student is independent. If they're married, they're independent. They're veteran or active duty military. If they have children, they're considered independent. Both parents are deceased, foster care. You can kind of read through there. If a student cannot answer yes to any of those questions, they must report their parent information on the FAFSA. And this slide, the slides and the recording will be available on the high school counselor resources for you to take these slides and use them. In addition, I'll provide you with some links to the FSA slides that they're providing for your events, FAFSA events as well. Wanted to also cover some types of aid. So there's grants that could be the federal Pell grants. Those can also be state grants and institutional grants. I want to draw your attention to those priority dates, which I'll talk about here again on the next slide. Priority dates are important because there could be some scholarships or state institutional scholarships grants that require a FAFSA form to be submitted on that date, or those to receive those monies, be qualified, for that certain fund, if you will. And then in addition, there's scholarships, there's institutional scholarships, state, outside private scholarships. Then there's also work study as well, and loans that students can qualify for. So many times I hear people think that the financial aid application is just loans. Oh, I don't qualify for grants. I think what we've found is that many families, students are surprised by what they do qualify for. So I certainly recommend having them, fill out that application, just in case. I mean, they don't have to take out that financial aid. They don't have to use it. They can decline it. They can decline any portion of that financial aid that they qualify for. So the financial aid application is not just for students who have financial need. And again, meeting priority deadlines is crucial because, again, some funds are only available until that date. And if the application isn't completed by then, students may miss out on those additional financial aid opportunities. So the links provided within the slides, I want to direct your attention to our website again. We do have a data access request opportunity. So you just click this attachment here, fill it out, have your superintendents sign off on that attachment, and it's going to be directed through your district office, and then submit that to Linda Oldham Burns. And this will allow you to see which, if your students have submitted the application in other areas as well, for you to help track and support your students in their FAFSA application. Then also the CASFA website. This is the Kansas Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators. They've provided a really cool opportunity for you to see those priority deadlines. They're currently in the process of updating these now. So the FAFSA filing priority date, this will be updated within the next couple weeks or so, but certainly before the December 1st release of the FAFSA application. So these dates, again, they will be updated. You can come here and utilize this resource as well. And then also on the CASFA website is counselor training. Lots of opportunities for you to receive training to be informed. The FAFSA deep dive, there is a recording there, as well as scholarships upcoming November 5th. And then the financial aid offers and cost of college on February 4th. You can also register for the professional judgment. Again, CASFA provides a ton of opportunities to assist counselors, those helping students in high school. Here's what the FAFSA deep dive is. About an hour and 30 minutes. You can look in there, decide what you want to view at any point.
The freight market is all
within that video. Then also linked on our slides today is resources from NCAN. So they've really just provided a platform, a organized platform, if you will, of items to access to help you support your students. So some resources under practitioner resources include an FSA how-to guide, all things FSA ID. Really love these preview slides, an entire deck. You can change those slides as you see fit as you're supporting those students. There's also the financial aid estimator, who is my parent. This prototype here, I believe you'll find super helpful. So this is essentially like a simulation of the FAFSA applications. You can choose to be a parent or a student and really navigate through what your students and parents are going to see on the FAFSA application. There's also a FAFSA checklist and other additional resources there. The awareness toolkit, again, how-to guides are linked here, financial aid estimator, Just a ton of really good resources, training opportunities. And then there's also a financial aid toolkit for counselors under the financial aid website. So you can learn about financial aid, the types of financial aid, eligibility, the FAFSA process, loan repayment. All of that information is really just a one-stop shop for you. Then conducting outreach. So this is going to provide you with additional resources if you're hosting a financial aid completion event. It's how to host an event, making a presentation. They have some resources, again, in both locations for you to utilize their slides as well. I certainly recommend inviting in your post-secondary partners to assist with any financial aid completion events. There's also a link within our slides for the, again, federal student aid information on college preparation. These are not only PDFs in English, but also in Spanish. So there's overview of the financial aid process, Spanish captioned, just really a ton of additional resources in various languages, and really cool. So you're not seeing what you're finding on that web page and you want to support students who aren't English speaking and families who are not English speaking, you can request an interpreter in various languages. So again, all of these resources are linked here within the FAFSA resources page on our, it will be on our website. Moving on to the FAFSA Completion Challenge. So our goal is for all Kansas high schools to move toward a FAFSA completion rate of 70%. In 2024, 18 high schools were recognized for reaching the 70% FAFSA completions. Coming again, that was a difficult FAFSA cycle. I certainly foresee that number increasing and being able to recognize more schools for this next cycle. So in 2023, there were actually 96 Kansas high schools with the FAFSA completion percentage above 60%. So what is the FAFSA Challenge structure? So the Kansas FAFSA Challenge, it'll open when the FAFSA opens, so December 1st, and it goes until June 30th every year. We use the senior class size data reported from KSDE based on the Census Day, September 20th. Report provided to KSDE, and then the FAFSA completion numbers reported directly from studentaid.gov. And then the winning schools are announced and recognized annually by the Kansas Board of Regents and Kansas State Board of Ed, and you also receive an award as well for that recognition. And then in addition, I link the Kansas FAFSA tracker here. You can actually see in that Kansas FAFSA tracker your school's FAFSA completion rate and a comparison to the prior cycle on that link as well. All right, so that is all that I have for y'all today. Wanted to, again, provide opportunity for y'all to look at those resources. They are going to be linked on the high school counselor section of our website under the student tab for you to review. Again, if you have any questions, I highly recommend getting a hold of your post-secondary servicer in your area to get your questions answered. Many times they are on those front lines, able to navigate through any challenging scenario that you might have with your students or families as they navigate the FAFSA application or FSA ID as well. So certainly work with them, and if you have any additional questions or needs, let me know. I'll be happy to point you in the right direction. Have a great day.